So today we're going to start with a yoga routine, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. We'll see how we go. What we're going to do in the yoga routine is address what I talk about as the big five. So the big five are the things that mainly restrict our streamline. So they are our pecs, our lats, our abs, our hip flexors, and our ankles. And through this yoga routine, we'll hit all 5 of those. And what we're going to do at the start is just test our streamline. We're not going to get a chance to test it in the water anytime soon, but what we're going to do is just at the front of the yoga mat, test our streamline. We'll go through our routine, loosen things up, hopefully feel good, and then at the end we'll just check in with our streamline. And we're looking to feel both subjectively, so does it feel a little bit better, but if someone was to take a photo, like what we do in Q-Swim, you can actually objectively see a change in your combined elevation of your streamline. So let's get started. We're going to start at the front of our mat, and we're just going to come up into streamline. Just closing the eyes for a minute, just have a feel of how streamline feels. Okay, is it easy? Is it hard? Could you stay there for a few minutes? If not, this is a routine that's going to be for you. So we're going to breathe in, reach nice and tall. As we breathe out, we're just going to swan dive down. So hitching from the hips, soft knees, relaxing the back, coming down. As we inhale, we're going to come up to a relatively flat back position. Bring our hands down to the ground and step back. Nice long neck, long body as we come down. And the first time we're going to do this, we're just going to slide our hands forward and come up into a nice, easy cobra where we're lengthening the front of the body, not compressing the back, but just creating openness through the front of the body. You should feel a stretch through the abs, not compression in the back. From there, I'm going to release my hands, long neck. I'm going to press up, soften the knees, and hinge myself down to my first downward dog. So I'm just going to pedal the feet a few times, so I don't need to be too still here. Spending plenty of time being still at the moment. So we're just going to shift the hips from side to side, twisting, opening up the side of the body. The same the other side. Back to our regulation downward dog. We'll look forward, we'll step our feet through, we'll find our flat back position again, and then we'll exhale, holding forward, and inhale, coming up nice and tall. Back down. We'll do that one more time, this time with a slight variation. So we'll breathe in. As we breathe out, we'll fold forward. As we breathe in again, we'll find our flat back position. Now we want to start to get a bit more dynamic, so we'll hop back this time, we'll lower down, and we can either choose cobra or we can come up into our more advanced option, which is our upward dog. Making sure that we're not dropping down towards the mat, but we're active through the front of the body. Rolling over the back of the hips, the back of the toes I should say, just pedaling the feet. Having that little twist from side to side, boosting things up. Again, just enjoying that stretch through the calves and the hamstrings. Looking forward again, this time we can step or hop the feet through. Find our flat back position. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, sweeping up nice and tall. Alright, so we're going to hit up our hip flexors straight away here. So we're going to take a big step back. And we're looking here to get our head, rib cage and hips in a nice straight line. Abs are going to be on. And this is our high lunge position. What we're going to do here is dip down, touch the knee to the mat, nice and gently. Come back up. And then we're going to pivot around to the other side and do the exact same thing. We're going to do 5 on each side, and I'll talk you through it as we go. But what we want to make sure is that we're maintaining or prioritising our rib to hip position. So our abs need to be on, and we're looking just to drop straight down with control, lightly touch the mat, come back up. Should feel a nice stretch through the front of the hips. And we're just going to go nice and smoothly a couple times through that. Do one more time. Alright. So from this high lunge position, now what we're going to do is sweep our foot a little bit wider. We're going to drop our hands down in between, and we're going to just open up our hips a little bit more. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drive this left knee sweep it out to the side, round my back as I come through here and loosen that up. Then I'm going to walk my feet around and do the same on this side. So knee's going to come forward, sweep the knee out to the side, hips come back, and again, pivoting around to the other side. Now I like to pivot from side to side sometimes like that because it just keeps this translational side to side movement working nicely, which helps to open up the hips, keeps us moving nice and fluidly, nice and relaxed. It just gets us moving in some slightly different planes that we are potentially not used to. Alright, back to the middle. We're going to take ourselves back into downward dog and just shake that out a little bit. Now we're going to step the foot to the outside of the hand. We're going to drop our elbow down towards the floor if you can reach there. And then as we inhale, we're going to open up through the chest and look up and point up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to come back down, touch the elbow or the forearm back down towards the mat. Should feel that open up through the top of the hamstrings and the hip. I'm just going to do that one more time on this side and then we'll pivot around. So it's always the chest opening up first, then allowing the hand to release. It's never going to be chest closed and hand reaching up. We'll just do that one more time. So the hand to the chest, open the chest, reach up towards the ceiling. And then we can pivot around and do the same on the other side. Try and link it with your breath. So as you breathe in, opening and twisting. As you breathe out, returning back to center, opening and twisting. So again, our hips are getting nice and open through this movement. We're also integrating that thoracic rotation as we do that. From there, we're going to come back to our hands and knees and just open up our lats a little bit more. So I'm going to take my right hand in this tabletop position, reach it in line with the left-hand side of my body. I'm going to try and pull my hips away from that hand and add a little bit of rotation. And I'm just going to look to find a stretch into my lower to mid ribs. And I'm looking just to breathe into that space for 5 breaths. It's a good opportunity here to check in with your breathing. Make sure you're breathing in and out through your nose. Back. We'll do the same on the other side. So the left hand reaches out, sinking back and opening up through the chest and through the lats. Paying attention to your breath, paying attention to the stretch. And you should be able to feel a difference between your inhale and your exhale with this stretch. As you exhale, you should be able to elongate along those ribs and open things up just that little bit more. Alright, so far we've opened up our abs through our cobra and upward dog. Had a quick look at our lats just there with our lat stretch. Our hip flexors is nice and open. I'm just going to dial into our pecs for a little bit. There's lots of different options with our pec stretch, but we're just going to go into this one lying down here. Our arms is going to come up. And what I want to make sure here is that we're going to keep our elbow bent as we come into this stretch here. So I'm not going to let my elbow drop down towards the floor. There's going to be a little bit of tension in my hand and a little bit of tension along this chain as I open up through the chest. And again, the stretch is in the front of my chest. It's not in my shoulder. So I'm breathing here for a couple of breaths. Good. We'll do the same on the other side. So reaching out, a little bit of softness in the forearm and the elbow. And what you're doing is opening the hips which tensions through the front of the chest. Again, we're just breathing into that space. Good. From there, let's just come back and do our classic little ankle mobilization. So we're rocking back onto the ankles, loosening them up a little bit. You can spend as much or as little time as you need to on those ankles, but at the moment, they're not going to be affecting your streamline too much because we're not in the water. But the other 4 of the big 5, pecs, lats, abs, and hip flexors, are really going to be getting tight through our sitting process. What we're going to do here is just finish off one more sun salutation. So that's that little opening section. Again, breathing in as you come up, breathing out as you come back down, trying to coordinate the breath with the movement. Inhale, find that flat back. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step or hop back. Lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale back into down dog. Looking forward. Finding that flat back position. Exhale, fold forward. And now we get to check back in with our streamline. So just closing those eyes down again. Bringing the arms up into streamline and just having a feel, how easy is that now? Is it a little bit easier? Is it the same for you? It might be the same for you if you're really tight. But that just is a nice simple yoga routine to get all of those aspects moving, gets ourselves moving with our breath, opens up those areas that we need to throughout the day, and something that I think everyone will really enjoy. So have a crack at that today and tomorrow, and then we'll be back to give you some new stuff in the days ahead.